You're on.
What's up, guys? Here with Chavy and Walsh. Here's Branded Sports UFC 253 preview show. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm
Doing well.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Well, hey,
I'm flustered.
Chavy's recovering.
Yeah, I'm recovering, and I said we are gonna do this at 7:30, and it's 8:15, and we're just now getting this started. That's the Branded Sports difference. Is that? I mean, I'm basically parodying another big site by saying it like that, but well, fuck it, we're gonna go with it. That's the Branded Sports difference. We say we're gonna do something, and we start it 45 minutes later.
Yeah, that's what happens on Mondays. You know, we're all working.
Oh yeah, 1000% my fault. I don't want to make it sound like it was Walsh's or Max at all. Completely my fault for going to a bachelor party over the weekend, which we will touch on in the nightcap on Thursday on Branded Sports.
I don't know if I can handle any more blame coming my way. I've been getting shit on pretty much all day today. It's been rough, but we're going strong. You know, it wasn't all my fault. So
I've watched it. It's been rough for sure for you, Keith.
Now, Mac, you are making your second appearance on a Branded Sports YouTube page here, which is going to go on the podcast. How do you feel about stepping in front of the camera more? Are you liking it? What's most people know you just as a blogger, but they don't know that, hey, you got a face for TV and you got a voice for radio and podcasting. So let's hear it. I mean, how do you feel?
Well, that was a great introduction, Chavy. I don't know about those three things, but I'll take it. No, I mean, yeah, it's good to be here. I mean, I'm always down to break down fights and recap fights, which is what we're going to be doing tonight. Especially with these big cards, it's always fun to talk about and elevate these fighters' names as well. So we got some big fights coming up this weekend, and we had some really big fights this past weekend. So do you guys want to start with Covington Woodley here?
I'm all in. Let's
So this past weekend we had Colby Covington not knockout, but he did TKO Tyron Woodley in the main event, welterweight bout. I think Tyrone broke his rib early on, and then it kind of just went in the last round, and that it looked pretty painful, to be honest with you. He said it was the most pain he's ever been in, so I kind of believe him, to be honest with you. I can't imagine that would feel too good.
He got his head decapitated by Nate Marquardt in Strikeforce. So if he's saying this broken rib is more painful than that, that's really saying something.
Yeah.
Did you see the X-ray? I saw the X-ray.
Disgusting X-ray.
It was tough, man. That must have really, really hurt. So I don't blame him for tapping. I probably would have done it as soon as I broke my rib. So, good on him for keep going, honestly. But I mean, the real story of the night was Colby Covington. He talks a lot of shit, whether you like it or not. I personally like the guy, but he's obviously an asshole, and he wants people to hate him. I'm on record saying it's definitely an act, and he definitely crosses the line though. And I do not condone everything he says. I probably don't condone most of the things he says, but it is what it is. It's an act, and it's what he's doing with his life. It's got him pretty far, to be honest with you. He was going to be cut before all of that stuff, so. He's made a lot of money, and he's gotten really far, doing that. So, it's tough to root. It's tough to like praise a guy like him, where like he's just so hated that I kind of feel bad that I'm praising him, but he's just such a good fighter that it's like he's so good at fighting, and he really does back up what he's talking about. Maybe not politics wise, he's kind of dumb in that area, but. He does back up what he's been saying. He said he was going to beat the hell out of Tyron Woodley, and he did. He really dominated that fight. So, next up for Colby's probably, a big name bout, either Masvidal, I would say. Maybe they might switch up Masvidal and Nate, switch that to Colby. I don't know if Jorge wants that or not, but I think that's probably the right route to go in terms of making money, and that could main event a pay-per-view in my eyes for sure. Even though it won't be for a title, but I think that's the way they should go. And if not, I can see Colby waiting for a title shot. But I think he'll probably need one more fight in Dana's mind. So
he's like the smartest idiot ever.
I think that is a great way to describe him. Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. He doesn't know what he's talking about. When he starts talking, he has no clue what's coming out of his mouth. But at the same time, he's also been doing it for as long as he has now, and it's made him a main event player. which
Yeah.
is so like, hey, the UFC is all about making a name for yourself, whether you do it in the octagon or out of the octagon. He's done it, and he's been backing it up recently, other than, his one slip up against
Right. The one fight he ended up losing where that kind of backfired. No, I kind of agree with you. I mean, I do agree with you guys. I think Colby is a fucking idiot, but he knows how to play the game. Because if you think about it, look who else is in the top 5. Leon Edwards doesn't play the game that Colby does, and he's not even being talked about for a title shot. And the dude's beat almost everyone in the division that's relevant.
Yeah, and the game's not for everyone. So I don't. Leon Edwards isn't someone that's going to do any of that shit. I mean, he talks a lot of shit, and because honestly, he has to. Like, he's trying to get people to fight him, but martial artists really, so a lot of them really are kind of quiet, stand up guys. At like, obviously, they're like karate kids. Like, they're not like boisterous assholes usually. Like, they're usually stand up, like, pretty quiet people. So. It's definitely not for everyone, but the people that are boisterous and loud make a lot of money usually. Obviously you have to be winning, but Colby's one. Obviously Connor did it that way. A lot of other people too. I mean, Masvidal's doing it now too. So, it's interesting to see, but I feel bad for Leon Edwards, to be honest with you, because he deserves a lot better than what he's gotten.
I love me a villain.
Yeah,
I really do.
Can I just be on record that saying Colby is, I mean, he's, like you say, he's the smartest idiot, but he's definitely not in the same category as McGregor or Chael Sonnen as trash talk, because he just throws out buzzwords. He literally, his post-fight interview with John Anik was basically just Trump, fake news, Biden, and I think more fake news, and that was it. It was like, that wasn't even really a promo. That's what we call it. We're all wrestling fans here, right?
Yep.
That's what we call cheap heat. That's where you just go for the lowest hanging fruit. I've seen it in comedy. Now we're seeing it in combat sports with Colby Covington. He's not good at it. Like I said, he's just buzzwords. And we saw that in the post-fight press conference, or not post-fight press conference, but the post-fight interview on ESPN Plus with Usman. Usman fucking destroyed him in the post-fight.
Oh my God, it was so fun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I find that shit hilarious when Colby's yelling like that. Like, and it's funny because he's so serious and like laughing, and oh my God, Colby was like, I got that dragon energy from the president, and like Usman's like cracking up. It's like a fucking SNL skit. Like, watching that shit, I thought that was hilarious. I think most of the stuff Colby does is pretty funny, but even though he's like serious, like, I think that's what makes it funny, is that he's like serious. So.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a laughing at him.
He'd be a great shot and clicker baiter.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he would, but
he really would.
I'm not gonna lie. If he was on our team, I'd probably kill him. I want that. Can that be our soundbite for this? If Colby Covington was a clicker baiter, I would kill him. I would end his internet life. And I have to say internet life, because if I say real, then that starts getting into, okay, we can get sued. But if I say internet life, I would kill his Twitter account. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, better. I would kill.
You stepping inside the octagon with him either.
Yeah. No, fuck no. That dude would kill me. But on Twitter, I think I could do the dance with him on Twitter and the blogging world for sure. Because like I said, he's a buzzword guy. And we saw how, when you dance with Chavy in the internet world, you're gonna get Tyron Woodley. I'm gonna get that double leg on you, and I'm gonna just drill you down, break your rib. Yeah. You've been put on notice, Colby. That's our soundbite for the podcast and the YouTube.
Colby actually surprisingly doesn't have that many followers on social media. You would think he has more, but I think people hate him so much they're like, fuck this guy. Like, I think he has less than 200,000 followers on Instagram, which is a lot. But like there's like unknown UFC guys with like almost 1 million followers. So he's not really that good at social media at all. So I think he would. I think you'd body him, Chavy.
He doesn't get the follows.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I just end up seeing his social media post on the subreddit cringe, because it's all cringe on there.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, but it does make people tune into fights though, like you said. I mean, he's a draw, because I was at a bachelor party this weekend, like I said, and we made sure to put the fight on because we're like, oh, he's fighting. And it's not to tune in to watch him fight. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. but it's to tune in to hopefully watch him get his ass kicked. I was hyping up Woodley to the casual fans at this party.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think if he gets that right hand, or is it left, whatever it is, when he gets that hand on him, I think he's going to knock him out.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point of me watching the fight was, okay, we're going to see it. Woodley's going to unleash, and it never fucking happened. So I think I turned the fight off in like round 4.
Can we talk about him real quick? As much as I don't mind the Colby talk, because I'm with Mac here. I like Colby as a fighter. I don't, like I said, I don't condone everything he says.
Yeah,
he's done a good job of winning me over by what he does in the octagon and his antics.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Before we get to that, can we say that is Colby Covington branded Patriot?
I mean, hey, he might be.
He might be. He might be branded Patriot, the one that's firing off the spicy hot takes on brandedsports.com, thebrandedsports.com.
Could be. We'll have to look into that. Some investigating journalism. But yeah, so Tyron Woodley, is he done? Is Woodley done at this point?
He came out today and he had an Instagram live say he's far from done, and a lot of rumors are swirling that he's broke, and that's why he's going to keep fighting. But he's lost 15 straight rounds.
Yeah, it is not.
I'm not sure. Yeah, Dana White said he should retire, but yeah, he said he's going to stick with his team and stick with stick with fighting right now. But I don't foresee him. Can't be that much longer. He has a good career outside, kind of. I mean, he's not great at rapping, but he's all right. But yeah, he's pretty bad at rapping. But yeah, I mean, he's been dominated from the last 3 fights, but it's against the top people. So I guess I think he wants to see if he can beat maybe a mid-level guy at the moment, maybe someone in the like 10 to 15 range, and see how he does there. But yeah, I don't foresee him making another title run probably.
He's one of the guys that keep going to Bellator.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Scott Coker sees a guy on a 0-3 slide, lost 15 straight rounds, is completely washed, and he's going to be like, "Come here, my child." He is the savior. No, I don't think that Woodley gets another fight in the UFC. I'm kind of with Mac here. I think he could take on like the 10 to 15 ranked guys, but I looked up his payday because that's where I was kind of wondering like how much he's making a fight, and that's probably why Dana wants to get rid of him. He's making $200K a fight, and that was just to lose to Gilbert Burns was his last reported payout that I saw. That was $200K flat fee. He may have got $200K if he won. I don't know the win bonus structure with him, but he got $200K to just stand there and not throw any strikes. And that's not good in the entertainment biz like Dana White's in. So I don't think he even gets that 10 to 15 ranked guy. I think he's just out of there. And I think you're right. Bellator is probably the move for him.
Yeah.
Reunite with Coker from the Strikeforce days.
Yeah.
Which it sucks. I mean, Woodley, I was talking about this with a buddy yesterday. Woodley's Stephen Thompson fight, the first one, was a pretty good fight. The rest of the title fights, he kind of just did what he had to do to win, which, hey, play your bread and butter. It may not be exciting, but it keeps you that title, keeps you getting the paydays and all that. But it just seems he's completely abandoned his entire game now. It's just been up against the cage, just putting himself up there and then just being timid.
He has looked like a completely different fighter in his last 3 fights.
He just looked defeated at all times. Like it's after that first round, he has like a look on his face that he doesn't want to be there. I'm sure he does, but man, he doesn't look like it sometimes. So, but again, he's facing some of the best fighters in the world. I don't know if I want to be there either. So, and they're pretty much all grapplers too. So honestly, like fuck that. Like just getting grappled by Usman, Burns, and Colt Covington 3 fights in a row is not easy. So,
but goddamn, the striking difference, but in the Covington fight was ridiculous. I mean, Covington's a volume guy, and he outstruck him by a lot.
Yeah,
like almost the same thing he did to Robbie Lawler.
So I'm looking at it now. Colby had 232 total strikes, while Woodley only had 67.
God, that's so crazy.
That's
insane.
That is insane.
That's Colby had 3 takedowns to Woodley's 1, and the control time 12:01 for Covington and 14 seconds for Woodley.
Holy shit!
So pretty one-sided fight.
Yeah, that was one-sided.
Do you think was there any 10-8s in the scorecard? Do you think? I was kind of like half-ass watching because we had stuff going on, but I didn't really hear about any potential 10-8 rounds that would have been on the scorecard.
I don't know.
I didn't think so.
Scorecards.
I didn't know if they released them.
Yeah,
Because they usually do.
Yeah. I'm sure I bet there probably was, but I don't know. Do we want to hop on to Hamzat Shemaev?
Ooh, yeah. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I love the guy. I feel like I'm getting catfished.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting catfished too. Honestly, it's a great way to put it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's Hamzat Shemaev. I want to say Kamzat, but I think it's Hamzat. But man, this guy he's probably the scariest prospect they've ever had. I mean, it's hard to tell because it's only 3 fights, but he's just been so good in these 3 fights that like even Dana White is like, I've never seen anything like this. Like Daniel Cormier today said that he thinks he'll be a double champion at this time next year.
That's high praise coming from Dana.
Yeah. No, that Daniel Cormier said that.
Oh, Daniel Cormier said that. That's still high praise. I mean, fuck.
Yeah.
Double champs recognize double champs.
Yeah, exactly. But it's terrifying. I mean, he's only 26 years old. He's almost better than he doesn't want to be called Khabib 2.0 because he thinks he's like better than that. Like he can strike too. Like he wants to be called like Mike Tyson. Shortest time span for 3 UFC wins, 66 days for him, which is just insane. I mean, some people don't get 3 UFC wins for like 2 years sometimes. So
he's fighting again in a couple weeks, isn't he?
I think he's fighting in November against Damian Maia, and they might try and get him in before that, which would be insane. But
really,
he's on a terrifying path. I would be really scared if I was someone in those divisions. But
wasn't that Meerschatz's thing? Like he was going against him a little bit because he was like, "Oh, they already like booked his next opponent."
Yeah,
beat his ass.
Yeah, so he was trying to make like a big underdog story about it, and I mean, rightfully so. I probably would have done the same, but man, it didn't work out. I honestly think he got in his head a little. He didn't look ready to fight at all. Like, man, Hamzat is just something special. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's only been 3 fights. We've seen hot prospects before, undefeated, that have got knocked out, and they're not the same. So it happens. But someone like this is definitely terrifying for what he's been doing to professional fighters. He's making them look like children out there. So
especially the fact that he's bouncing around from weight classes. Like you can just go from welterweight to middleweight and still, I mean, granted, like you said, he's still fighting up and coming people and he's an up and comer himself, but still just to bounce around from that, it's fucking insane.
Yeah. I mean, it's honestly like I'm scared he's going to ruin the sport. That's how good he is. It's going to be too good for people to beat. But I don't know. Now, when you got Kamaru Usman on top, Israel and the Adesanya, who we'll be talking about later, those guys are the 2 best in the world at what they do. So until he beats them, I'm probably on the board with Adesanya and Usman. But man, they should be probably scared to face next year. So, but we'll see.
I gotta wonder if he's taken this many fights in a short amount of time because he's Chechenian Swedish, and it looks like he fights out of
Sweden.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like a tax exemption period right now due to COVID, and he's just fighting as much as he can, so he doesn't have to write it in as an independent contractor.
Not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea. Like I would do that if I was a Chechenian Swedish fighter that's a prospect on the rise that's been called a potential double champion by Daniel Cormier. I would take 6 more fights by the end of the year. Just no taxes on those. Just paying my camp.
Exactly.
Put me on every card for the rest of the year.
No shit. Put me twice on there. I'll fight on the opening prelims on Fight Pass, and then put me on the co-main and ESPN Plus.
Exactly. I think the striking difference in his 3 fights is something insane. I'm trying to find it. I cannot find it right now. I'm going to check on my phone real quick, but it is something remarkable.
Well, Meerschaert landed nothing in this fight.
Literally. Yeah, I don't think he landed anything. I think it's something like 2. It's like in the 200 to 2. Like he's only been hit twice in 3 fights, which is honestly just unfair what he's doing. But man, I don't know. It's hard to get on the train with someone that's like I mean, obviously we've had Khabib whose train was fast, but not like this. This is something else. Khabib took some time to really make a name of himself. I mean, he was always a name, but he didn't really like do what he's doing. You know,
and he would take like 2 years off at a time because he would always get hurt.
Yeah, he would get hurt. So it's a different story for Khamzat. Hamzat, don't hurt me, Hamzat. But yeah, damn, he's something else. So that's a name to look out for. I mean, it's hard not to bet against the man. He was a minus 500 favorite, so he was in my play the other night. Thank God.
Are you gonna co-sign the Daniel Cormier take that he's gonna be a double champion by the end of next year?
God no.
Oh,
no,
come on.
No, I can't. That's too much to me. I just cannot imagine that's possible. I really can't. I just can't.
I mean, if everyone gets COVID in the welterweight and middleweight division and he's the only one left, I could see it happening then.
Yes, maybe then. Yeah, but
what would the path to that even look like? I know dude's fought like 3 times in what 60-something days. We said.
Yeah. 6
so
days.
His next fight, you maybe have. They'll probably shoot for October. Like, dude hasn't been touched, so he can fight literally probably next week if he wanted to.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll get a mid-October, end of October fight.
Yeah.
And he wins that one. You're looking at maybe January.
Yeah. Yes.
And then a March title fight for him, which that would be so quick.
I know they're talking about him headlining a fight card, so that's pretty big news for him.
Yeah, you gotta strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, so they'll do it. I bet he'll headline a fight card by the end of the year. But
well, fuck, if Holly Holm is main eventing a fight night in 2020, I mean, this guy should too.
She's a big name. Big name,
but I will avoid any card with her as the main event. Like it's the coronavirus because I know it's going to be if it's a 5-rounder, I'm not going to see much entertainment. And like I can be like, okay, I can go maybe watch I Love You Man, finish the review that me and Walsh are doing. I can go out to dinner. There's so much else I can do when Holly Holm's main eventing a card. And don't get me wrong, I respect her, but as a fan from the entertainment aspect, I'm never entertained by her fights unless it was her knocking out Rousey.
Yeah, or choking out Tate. No, or getting choked out by Tate. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Her headline fight probably means it's probably not a great card, but
no, fuck no.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, we had Johnny. I thought Johnny Walker looked fantastic. I'm super high on him. He was a really hot prospect too. If you don't remember, he was undefeated, just like last year, and he lost, and that kind of knocked him down a lot of pegs. But he was a super hot prospect coming out. People were talking about him and John Jones fighting, like and stuff, but that wasn't possible once he lost. But I'm high on him. He's with Coach Kavanagh now, Connor's coach in Ireland. So I think that's a name to look out for. I think he's a future champion, actually. So he looked great Saturday night. And then I know we spoke about Cerrone and Price as well. That was a good fight. I think Cerrone probably, I don't know what he's doing. I think he should probably hang him up. But he still looked pretty good, to be honest with you.
That man will never retire.
Probably not.
No.
He's never going away.
Which it's so funny that the main and co-main were basically just dragging out people that shouldn't be fighting who they were fighting.
Yeah,
it was basically just a showing out party for Nico Price. They're supposed to be, and then Colby was just. I mean, it was a grudge match, but it was a fight that Woodley had no business being in.
Yeah, they probably should have fought a couple years ago when they really missed, striking the iron hot. Honestly, they could have fought a couple years ago and headlined a pay-per-view for sure. Yeah. And so I think they missed that iron, but yeah, I mean, they had to do that fight. So that's what was going to happen. But I mean, yeah, overall, Colby looked great. Chimaev looks just terrifying. There's not really any words to describe Chimaev, in my opinion. So I'm excited for these last, this last card, man, was full of some really good fighters. So
yeah,
excited. How about UFC 253 this Saturday though? Let's hop on.
Yeah, fucking love it. Yeah.
So we got 2 world title fights. I would say we were talking about before. It's not the strongest card, but when you got 2 title fights, I mean, it's worth buying for sure. Definitely worth buying in my opinion. And the fights on the card itself aren't too bad. I mean, they're definitely going to be some fireworks, but man, these two title fights are something else. The main event, of course, we got Izzy Adesanya, Paulo Costa for the middleweight title. Adesanya defending his belt. Two undefeated men. I mean, I'm not too sure where to pick. I'm leaning Adesanya, but man, I'm not too sure. Costa is something else. If Costa can get a hold of him and maybe catch him in the first round, I wouldn't be surprised if Costa won this. But I have a hard time picking Izzy once it gets past. I have a hard time picking against Izzy once it gets past the first round. So we'll see. Costa was known to get a little gassed after that first round, but we'll see. I think he's looking slim. So
I like this from you, Mac. Someone's O has got to go in this fight, and it's not going to be yours because you're basically playing both sides, so you come out on top. I love it. That's great because
I still have to pick someone though.
Well, we won't force you. We're not going to force you. If you want to stay in the middle and keep that 0 behind it, Khabib style, we'll let you do it. I love it though. You're playing both sides here. What time does this pay-per-view start? Does it start at 10?
Yeah, it'd be 10 o'clock.
I'll tune in at 11:30. Hopefully, when the co-main's starting.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'll probably do the same thing. I'll probably 11:30 tune in. I mean, the card, I'm sure it's going to be one of those surprising cards where we're not talking about the big names that are on the main card, but we'll probably see some decent highlights from the other fights going on. But I'm with you, Mac, where I kind of want to play both sides as well. Because there's two great fighters. Adesanya in the last fight against Romero, Yoel, if he would have got a hold of him, he probably would have knocked him out. But the thing is, Adesanya is too good where he literally just didn't let Romero get near him.
Yeah, it wasn't really a great fight either. So it sucked. It honestly sucked. Yeah,
it was like leaving your controllers just sitting there while you play UFC 4, or
exactly what it was.
Or UFC 4 is so broken that it's just like playing UFC 4 normally.
Yeah. Oh man, that was one of those fights that was so hyped up and just like a kick to the ball. Damn, dude. But
when was the last kick to the balls kind of fight though that was hyped up like that you don't think lived up to it?
I mean, definitely that one last time. I'm trying to think. I mean, Lesnar Hunt wasn't anything good.
Yeah, that was also shit.
That was pretty rough, but that was expected. I mean, I don't know.
Hot take here, and I liked the fight, but coming at it from like a casual fan standpoint, the BMF fight because it ended so quickly.
Oh, fucking yeah. It was such an ass kicking.
Right. Yeah. It was, don't get me wrong, I didn't hate the fight, but the way that it ended kind of would say that was kind of a kick in the balls.
Yeah, I was just like, God damn it, like I need this back like rerun right now. But
if that fight
round bloodbath, and
if that fight wasn't in New York, I think it would have kept going. New York's like being a new regulating state. They've only been going for what, 2 years now, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
they're still learning.
Yeah, that doctor was getting death threats, I think.
Yeah, I don't care if Nate Diaz's eyelid is hanging off of his cheek. Like you got Vegas lets that fight go 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And yeah, I mean, on the other side we got Paulo Costa. Obviously, his last fight was against Romero too. So both these guys' last fights have been against Romero, both unanimous decisions. Costa and Romero was way more exciting than Adesanya Romero.
Yeah.
That was a great fight. Some people had Romero winning that actually. So, but that was a great fight. It's been over a year since Costa's fought, so that's pretty interesting. But like I said, I think he has a chance to catch Izzy in the first round, and if not, then Izzy's gonna win. So I'm gonna lean towards Izzy on this one.
Okay.
But man, Costa can certainly catch him in that first round. So we'll see. It's gonna be super exciting. Dana White's hyping it as the fight of the year. He says it's going to be the fight of the year. So
I'm very worried.
I'm so worried that since I'm saying that, it's gonna suck. But
that is my biggest concern. Like I just feel like it's setting up for what happened with the Romero fight.
I know.
Yes, let's go. We want to see this. We want to see them two get it on, and then it's just going to be 25 minutes of nothing.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna be funny is if we get the reverse Kamaru Usman and Colby Covington, where it was just strictly a stand-up fight. If this is just all wrestling because it's two strikers, would be hilarious.
Exactly.
Just seeing them both shooting for double legs for 25 minutes and like wall humping and stuff. Oh, that would be so funny.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if I see foot stomps, I'm turning it off.
Oh, it's the worst.
I'm adding Dana White if there's foot stomps, and I'm asking for a refund. And he'll probably tell me to go fuck myself, but I'm going to do it.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, if we see I don't foresee it being boring just because it's like the style matchup is just too exciting to be boring. I mean, Romero's a wrestler, where like Costa's a striker, so I think they're both going to be swinging for the fences. I would assume someone gets finished in this fight, but it could also be like a Gaslam Adesanya fight where they just go to war for 5 rounds and they both look like they're dead at the end of the
I would
fight.
love that.
Yeah, I would love that too.
Take
I can see that happening, honestly. I can see it going the distance and Izzy winning by like split decision or unanimous decision. If it goes the distance, though, Adesanya would probably win. But that's going to be an awesome fight, man. So,
yeah. So
you go.
So you both are with Izzy.
I'm with it. I'm going to say Izzy, yeah.
I don't know. I really like them both. I really want to play in the middle here. No, I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say Costa, first round knockout.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say majority draw. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to play both sides on this. I know I just gave Max shit for doing it, but I didn't say it was the wrong thing to do. So I'm going to say majority draw. Set up the rematch.
All right. I'm in.
We will see the rematch before we get a coronavirus vaccine. It's going to be a majority draw. We will see the trilogy before we get a coronavirus vaccine.
That would be just too far away for me.
That was actually Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That was her last wish, was that Romero or Costa and Costa and Adesanya run back a trilogy before we get a vaccine. I have it on good authority. That's what her last wish was.
Oh man. Oh, Chavy.
I've said I would say that on stage too. So it's like, people think just because I hide behind the internet, I wouldn't say that in real life. Would definitely 1000% say that into a microphone and try to get laughs. Probably more oohs than laughs, but I would say it.
No, I would laugh. I would laugh if I was there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Laugh.
Also forgot to point out, Izzy at this moment, Izzy's a minus 185 favorite. Costa's a plus 150 underdog, so pretty close. But I'm sure that will probably change up and down throughout the week. But
now, if you guys bet on this fight, make sure you loop in CEO Joe, because apparently when you guys make bets, you have to loop in everyone.
Okay, I'll tag Joe in all my bets now.
I'm actually going to tag everyone in my jerk off logs, just because I feel like if we have to include everyone in this. So I'm going to start a Branded Sports jerk off log chat where I just tell everyone, hey guys, guess who just tugged one out? And if you want to feel better, go ahead and do it yourself. Go tug one out yourself.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about the co-main event now.
Yeah. Co-main event.
Perfect transition.
Great transition. Co-main event for the vacant light heavyweight title, vacated by John Jones, of course.
Because of his third DUI crash, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He had a pregnant woman again.
Damn.
Yeah, this is gonna be Dominic Reyes versus John Blachowicz.
I always say Jan.
Yeah, I always say
Jan. It's Jan or John or Jan.
We might end up in a Jim Rome, Chris Everett situation here if I keep calling him Jan. Like he might just beat the shit out of me. I'd have it coming.
Yeah. No, so I mean, this fight is gonna be it's gonna be good. I wouldn't say it's good. I mean, it's hard to predict, but I wouldn't say it's going to be as good or exciting as Adesanya Costa. I mean, I see Dominic Reyes probably pulling this one out. He looked really good against John Jones, and before that, he was undefeated before he lost to John Jones. He whooped Chris Weidman's ass in Boston, actually.
Yeah. Did you go to that fight?
Yeah, I was there. Yeah. So that was pretty fun.
You have to wonder if you are Dominic Reyes' good luck charm when it comes to main events and co-mains. You were there to watch him get stomp out Chris Weidman. You weren't there for the John Jones fight.
If he loses again, we may have to, Reyes may have to make a petition to get Mac in attendance for all his future fights.
Mac will be in his corner. He will be his cornerman, and he will have to get swabbed in his nose every day he goes to the UFC Apex to coach. He coaches Dominic Reyes in the fight. Dominic's just sitting there huffing and puffing. Round 3 is about ready to start, and Mac's just like, finish the fight. That's all you gotta do. Or like sweep the leg. He pulls out some Karate Kid shit, some Cobra Kai. He's like, sweep the leg, Dominic. That'd be good.
Oh my God. And then, I mean, Blachowicz has won 3 in a row here, so he's no joke. He's beating Corey Anderson, who I thought was going to beat Blachowicz when they fought. So he's beaten Corey Anderson, Ronaldo Souza, and then Luke Rockhold in his last 3 fights. So that's definitely title shot worthy. But I mean, I just think Reyes looks so good versus Jones. I mean, he almost won that fight. He pretty much did in most people's eyes.
Yeah.
But I mean, to beat the champ, you kind of have to. You need to beat him. You can't.
You got to beat off the champ if you're going to beat the champ.
So I get why John won that. A lot of people don't, but I kind of get it. But I mean, yeah, Reyes is something else. So I'll take Reyes. I think Reyes might finish him this weekend. So
let's get around. Let's get around here for the branded bettors, so they can know where to lay down some cash here, round wise.
I'm gonna say probably before the 3rd round. So I'd say I'm gonna say maybe. All right, let's say before the championship rounds.
I like it.
The first 3 rounds, he should finish it. But I think even if this goes to decision, that Reyes would probably win a decision. But yeah, I'm gonna say Reyes probably in the 3rd round by TKO.
Okay, I like it. I like
that pick. I also like Reyes in this one. My only thought, without John Jones, the light heavyweight division, I'm not excited for either one of these guys to be the champion.
It's really not. It's really not too great right now. I mean, we need someone that's really up and coming in that division. So
yeah, and there's not much.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at the rankings now, and it's just like, all right. So if whoever wins, I don't even know who you put next.
Probably Glover Teixeira, right? He's in the top 5.
Yeah, he's number 4. So Thiago Santos is number 2.
Oh,
so
but they were supposed to fight each other before COVID fucked up that fight.
Yeah. Alexander, how do you say that? Rakic?
Yeah. So Rakic is really good. I think he'll probably be the champion eventually. And then, like I said before, Johnny Walker is special. So I would expect Johnny Walker to be the champion probably within 2 years for sure. I would say that's maybe even stretching it. So I think Johnny Walker.
Anthony Smith will probably get another title shot.
Who'd you say?
Anthony Smith. He'll probably get another title shot.
That'd be awful.
I'm kind of with you guys. It kind of sucks to see a dominant champ like Jones go, but at the same time, this is a perfect opportunity for the UFC to just build up that light heavyweight division to where they just say, hey, we got a bunch of killers here. Because I mean, these guys aren't bad. It's like no one just knows about them.
Yeah, and I honestly feel like they haven't built it up at all. Like, I feel like I haven't even heard Reyes and Blachowicz mentioned on anything. Like, it's just Adesanya Costa commercials and, like, it's just Adesanya Costa everything, which understandably Adesanya is a huge name. But, I mean, they're like, not building it at all. Like, they're doing a shit job of it, so.
No, even when the John Jones fights, when Dominic Reyes fought John Jones, and then you had Trevor Smith fighting John Jones, it was like, why am I interested in this fight? This is just, you're feeding these to the lions here, and it ended up being 2 of the most competitive fights and Thiago Santos ended up being some of those competitive fights John Jones has been in, and it's like, but they didn't hype it up like that to me. To me, it was just we're running thin on contenders here, so we're just throwing John Jones against guys that aren't Daniel Cormier or Alexander Gustafsson.
Yeah,
and that's all it was to me. And I feel like they really did a disservice because that ended up being some of his closest fights in his career. Yeah, and it's like if you just hype that up, and even after the fact, you can really get some people behind these guys. But I mean, I'll be honest, as a guy that's kind of slipped into casual territory, they don't really have me excited for the future of 205. But I know I should be.
Yeah,
but no, you haven't done much.
No, they're really. I don't blame you though. They're not like these exciting young prospects. They're kind of been. I mean, Reyes is young. I mean, he's 30. He's only 12-1. So I guess he's like kind of on the come up, but still, like, you don't really know. People do not know who these guys are, and they're fighting for the world title. So there's obviously an issue in that. Like that shouldn't be happening. I I'm trying to think of the other divisions, maybe besides the flyweight division, which actually has Cody Garbrandt fighting next in a couple months. So he's a bigger name than both these guys. So like this might be the least known division in the UFC, right? I'm trying to think of. I think it probably is.
I would agree with that because like you look through the other divisions, and there's like the champion, the contenders, even more.
Yeah.
And then you get to light heavyweight, and it's like, all right, well now that Jones is gone. Yeah, I heard of Dominic Reyes because he lost to John Jones. I've heard of Santos because he also lost to John Jones.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like I'm not seeing anybody here that's like, oh yeah, I'm excited to watch him fight.
Well, can I be honest about Thiago Santos? I did not know he was a up and coming contender. The last I knew of him before he fought Jones and took him pretty close to taking a decision was him getting knocked out by Gegard Mousasi back at UFC 200. That's like the only other thing I had known about Thiago Santos, and that shouldn't be. I think he had a nice head kick knockout too, like before that, but they don't market him well.
Yeah, and Thiago's like a veteran too. Like he's been around.
Yeah,
and like he's a beast. So like they could have marketed him so well, and he's got that crazy tattoo on his chest too. That's kind of
the Thor hammer.
That's so sick. But I mean, he tore his ACL in that John Jones fight. He could have won that fight if he didn't do that for sure. So just poor, like piss poor marketing all around. It's really like sad to see. Like I bet Reyes and Blachowicz are like, yo, like come on, like you guys can do better than this. Like we're fighting for the fucking title. Come on. But it is what it is. I'm sure whoever wins is probably going to be a bigger name than they walked in as. So it's definitely a big fight for both those guys. And honestly, if it's for the title, it's going to be fun to watch. It'll be intense. So
what better way to bring back the light heavyweight division than just have an absolute war on Saturday night?
I know that you never know. You really never know. Yeah, that could happen. It could be a 5-round war like Jones Gustafson or something.
Hey, so you guys both got in hot takes so far, right? I know Walsh did for sure. Okay, so I'm getting on the hot take train. I think Paulo Costa officially loses on Saturday, moves up to 205, and then we get some star power up there in the 205 division. We got a guy that's going to look even more beefy than what he does now at 185 when he gets 20 more pounds to work with. I mean, he's going to walk in looking like the fucking Incredible Hulk.
Honestly, it's not a bad idea. Like,
no,
he's so big. Like, he's like, I think he's barely making that weight. Like, he's so cut. Like, if he could just like not do that, like at 205, he'd honestly probably be the champion for a long time. Like, he's a beast. So I actually don't hate that. I think that's probably a good idea. I wonder if that's what he's thinking, honestly. But
it's got to be in the back of his head if he loses. Yeah. He's got that.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe bring back Ilir Latifi, the 5'8" guy that's fighting a heavyweight. Bring him back to 205. Maybe he's the guy to lead us into the promised land as well.
The shoe chug guy, is that him?
No, he's the Swedish guy. He's only like 5'8", and he moved up to heavyweight and fought Derek Lewis. I think it was earlier in the year, and he weighed like 240 for that fight. And it's like, dude, you're 5'8". Like that means you should be able to move your arms. Like you should be able to move your arms. They're so fucking jacked with that. Yeah. Bring back Ilir Latifi to 205. Let's get that going. Let's get that trending on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these middleweights. I feel like a couple of them could go up and kind of take over that division. I mean, Chris Weidman, I think, is done, but I wouldn't hate to see him try light heavyweight again. He did get starched by Reyes, though, so I kind of understand it. And then I wouldn't hate seeing Gaslam's kind of a short dude, so I don't think he can make it. But
that would be like the Tifi at heavyweight. Yeah, you're right. He's too short.
I don't think that would work.
What about Yoel?
Yeah, Yoel. So Yoel probably should be at light heavyweight. I don't know why he wouldn't do that. Like he's he's in his 40s. Like that's probably the healthiest decision he can make is doing that. So I wouldn't hate that either. So that's a good idea too.
I like it. These are all great ideas. I mean, just when you get three minds like this at Branded Sports together, we become a UFC matchmaker. So we're basically the new Joe Silvas.
Dana White, hire us.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Dana, hire me and bring back Face the Pain by STEM for the intro music. You coward.
Can we just get a cover version of it from you, Chavy? And that be the new intro?
My voice would be gone, and then I couldn't do the nightcap or our wrestling retrospects for at least a month while I just gargle fucking ginger ale and
Might be
do
worth.
all. It might be if I can get Stem on the line to like play me some tunes while I sing over it. I'm willing to do that. Maybe we'll bring back Face the Pain for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
I'm in.
That seems like that's the perfect place for it to be now, because I feel like the UFC is trying to be too much of a sport, and Face the Pain's not sport music. That's Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship music.
That's murder music.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something like some slow pitch softball guy puts over his montage of him just hitting absolute line drives at the pitcher and just smoking him in the face and breaking his orbital bone.
So is there a link to your YouTube video going to be in the comments of this, Chavy, with that playing? I'm assuming
with my softball. Oh, singing it. Yeah. I'll definitely have it in the comments of the Branded Sports video we're posting for this. So
I forgot to mention Reyes is a minus 280 favorite. Blatchwoods is plus 220. So I actually think I think he's a big favorite, honestly. Like that's a little too big to me. But I mean, for what he looked like to Ray, I mean, against John Jones, I kind of get it.
I think this would be a perfect segue into our next segment here. But since we have to loop in CEO Joe with everything, if you guys are laying down some cash on this for Saturday, who are you picking, or how much are you putting on, just so we get CEO Joe on the same page?
Yeah. Walsh, you want to take this?
Yeah, sure. I'll start. CEO Joe, these are my picks. Hey, CEO Joe, these are my picks for 253. I'm letting you know now. So if you don't listen to this podcast, then it's on you. I'm not texting you in the group. I'm not texting you individually. You got to listen. You got to listen to the picks. I'm going to take listen, I had the hot take Costa by first round knockout, so I'm going to take that. I'm going to go a little parlay action. We're going to take Diego Sanchez, who's fighting on the prelims. We're going to take him. We're going to take Eubanks, who, Mac, you actually spoke with her, right?
I did. Sajara Eubanks, who I'll also be taking. She's an underdog, so you definitely can make some money on her. She's a savage. She just fought like last weekend, so she's a savage. So definitely.
I'm all in. So them two, and then we'll go Reyes, and yeah, that'll be my my little 3-fight parlay.
I love it, and that'll pay out $1 bajillion. CEO Joe will be able to get us a house to live in and just create content 24/7, much like the Team 10 household by Jake Paul. So I like it. That's a guarantee. That's a mortal lock only.
I have a great parlay going right now that I'm actually very confident in, and I think you can win a lot of money doing this.
Okay, make sure you announce it for CEO Joe. So he's probably got one earbud in. He's got one AirPod in. The other one is focusing on him blogging. So you need to announce it and then give yourself like 30 seconds to let him prepare to get the pen, paper, and all that and write it down.
Yeah. CEO Joe, I am dead serious about this too. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. All right. So this is going to be a 5-fight parlay for the this is just the main card. No prelim.
Oh, wow.
So all 5 fights on the main card are what we're going to be doing here. So I got Adesanya winning the main event as a minus 185. I got Reyes winning the co-main for the light heavyweight title. I then have Brandon Royval and Sujara Eubanks, both underdogs who I actually had just spoken to in the last couple weeks. Both savages, both great people. But they're light underdogs, so it's not like they're heavy underdogs here. They're both savages. Royval's fighting a really good ranked dude in Kai Kara France, so that's the one I'm a little shaky on.
We can't hear that. We can't hear you. You're confident.
All right. I am very confident in Brandon. He just doesn't have Wikipedia, so that's I am very confident in Sujara Eubanks. She is a savage. She fought last week, so if you're doing that, that's the shit that Hamzat Shemaev is doing. If you're doing that, you're a savage, and you should probably be. I think you're going to be winning those fights. So I think she's winning, and then in the opener of the main card, I have Zubara Tukavov. Don't really know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a savage. I have seen him fight before. He has a great record, 19-4-1, a slight favorite. So if you put $25 on this parlay, that will win you $630.
All right, there you go.
I am very confident in this parlay. I had hit a 4-fight parlay last weekend. I went 6 for 6 in the NFL last weekend, so I'm red hot. The only thing that kept me from winning a lot in the Covington card was that draw, the Cerrone draw. That because Cerrone was an underdog and I had Cerrone winning, so that kind of set me back a little. But I'm pretty confident in this. I mean, 2 underdogs is tough, but that's how you win money here. So if you put 25, 629, if you put 50 on it, you could win over $1,200. And if you want to just do, five fights is hard to predict. So I think that's almost a little too much. So I might tweak it later on, maybe towards the end of the week, make it a 4 or 3 fight parlay, make it a little safer if you want to. But Joe, if you got money to toss around, listen to me. You got this one. You'll win a lot, and then maybe we can tweak it to a 3 fight parlay later in the week, maybe.
Well, I'd have to think after the click off and the clicks we brought in for the company, he has to have an endless supply of money. He's just got a money gun right now, just shooting out $100 bills.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
Also, CEO Joe, if you fast forwarded through the podcast, was the end of the gambling picks. So go back a little bit, and you'll hear our picks for the weekend. That way, you don't miss them.
That's right. And my parlay, I'm gonna ride Diego Sanchez. That's my parlay. I think it's how you do it. I'm not much of a gambler, but I think as long as you pick at least one guy or a girl fighter, that counts as a parlay. So I'm gonna parlay Diego Sanchez and probably maybe a MAC football game in there too.
Oh, okay. Is the MAC?
So
I completely meant to wear this during my parlay picks, so I might have fucked.
Oh boy.
We'll edit it in post-production.
My lucky headband, so we got it, Joe. We got it.
That could turn into an unlucky headband.
I'm wearing it now. I'll announce the parlay. Adesanya, Reyes, Royval, Eubanks, Zubara. $25 to win $630. Too easy. Let's go.
Look at that. That's a confident man. I'm not much of a gambler, but I might get my bookie over in Pennsylvania. Cough, cough. I can never figure out which way the camera's going. Cough, cough. This guy to bet on a certain sportsbook app. Maybe that parlay.
Well, listen, I'm open for that one.
I love it. So I guess this is probably the end, right? So I guess we should all plug what we do here at Branded Sports, or what we just like to do in our spare time. So Mac, you go first, man. What do you got going on?
This was a great night, guys. I mean, we got some great fights this weekend. Great fights last weekend too. That was great. Honestly, almost a better card last weekend than this weekend. But that should not sway you from not buying the pay-per-view. Everyone should watch this fight because Israel Adesanya is honestly one of the most talented fighters of all time. So if he wins this, he's these guys are both undefeated. No reason not to buy this pay-per-view, even if it's just to watch that fight. But 2 title fights is definitely worth all the money that you're throwing for the pay-per-view, in my opinion. So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Other than that, I'll be writing a preview blog with my picks and everything for the main card, and especially a big breakdown of these 2 title fights. And then, we'll watch out for more previews, more reviews from us. And look forward to chatting with you guys again.
The Tap Out crew.
The Tap Out guys.
Love it. My spare time, I like long romantic walks on the beach. Oh, sorry. No, wrong. No, but check out the Ginger Third podcast. Check out Chavy and Walsh's Playground. The nightcap on Thursday coming up. We'll have a retrospective episode of Backlash 2001 coming up.
I'm looking this up real quick.
Yeah, I don't know it's pretty much all I got. Walsh's Winners will be out. CEO Joe, Walsh's Winners, the blog that is going to win you more money, will be out probably Thursday again. I don't know about you guys. I got nothing going on this weekend that I know of as of right now, so I'd possibly be down to do a live stream during the pay-per-view. It's up to you guys, though. I don't know what everyone else's schedule's like.
I'm gonna think that one over.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm down for now until something probably. It's my birthday weekend. I don't do the birthday month, but I at least do the weekend. So we'll see what I do. But if not, I am down. And like Walsh said, we got the Chavy and Walsh's Playground, which is where you can download the podcast version of this. It's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Almost forgot. I almost said YouTube, but we're on YouTube right now. Go to thebrandedsports.com. You'll see Max, like he said, he's writing a blog for that this week. You're going to have Walsh's winners there. Follow Branded Sports on Twitter at branded_sports. Follow me on Twitter at Agent Chavy Scarn. You see it right there for Keith at Keith_Walsh18. Mac, yours is at Ryan_Mac12, right?
Yes, sir.
Boom, I fucking knew it.
I'm trying to find a new. I think I'm just gonna do my first and last name again, but no. Right now it's Ryan Mac 12. With
what about Big Mac Attack?
Oh,
do that. Sounds a little cocky, but I think I could do. I think I could work with that Big Mac Attack. I feel like it's already taken. That's the issue with Mac is like there's so many taken ones.
Okay, we'll keep you humble here, and we'll go Medium Mac Attack. That's probably not taken, and you want to be a little bit humble, so we'll go Medium Mac Attack.
Small Mac Attack.
No, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We know. Maybe medium. Let's go medium. So yeah, guys, fucking download this, watch it on YouTube, do whatever, and that's gonna end it. So this is where I hit the end button, and we just all awkwardly look at ourselves.